Imagine, if you will, the dense, humid expanse of the Amazon rainforest. Here, a Yanomami hunter moves with a silence born of generations. He draws back a long, flexible stave, its string taut with contained power. An arrow fletched with brilliant feathers and tipped with a sliver of hardened wood is aimed. Now, travel across the vastness of our planet to the arid, sun-scorched plains of the Kalahari Desert in Africa. A sand hunter, his body etched with the stories of his people, mirrors the same posture. His bow is smaller, perhaps, but the principle, the elegant and deadly geometry of it, is identical. This scene has been repeated with astonishing similarity for millennia. How can this be? These two individuals, separated by an ocean and thousands of miles, share a technological masterpiece. They have never met. Their ancestors never met. To truly appreciate the mystery, one must first understand that the bow and arrow is not a simple tool. It is a marvel of intuitive physics and material science. Think of the bow itself. It is not just a bent stick. The wood must possess a delicate balance of compression strength on its inner side and tension strength on its outer side. Ancient inventors sourced materials from their environment, animal sinew, gut, plant fibers like flax or hemp, and processed them with extraordinary skill. And then there are the fletchings, the feathers. These are not for decoration. They are a guidance system, creating drag and imparting spin like a rifle bullet. Our search for the bow's origin takes us deep into the past, to the continent that is the cradle of our species, Africa. It is here, in the cool, quiet depths of a South African cave, that we find the earliest, most tantalizing clues. At a site named Sibudu Cave, archaeologists have unearthed evidence that pushes the timeline of this invention back to a staggering degree. They discovered tiny, meticulously crafted stone points, no larger than a thumbnail. These were not the tips of heavy spears. Their size and shape suggest they could only have been used for one purpose: to arm the tips of light, fast-moving arrows. These arrowheads are approximately 71,000 years old. Let that sink in. We leave the warmth of Africa and travel north, into a world gripped by the last great ice age. Here, in Europe, the evidence for archery appears much later, but with a sudden dramatic impact. In a rock shelter known as Grotta Mandrin, located in what is now France's Rhône Valley, archaeologists uncovered a layer of earth that tells a remarkable story of technological change. This layer, dated to around 54,000 years ago, is filled with hundreds of tiny standardized flint points. Like those in Sibudu Cave, they are too small and delicate for hand-thrown spears. This European evidence, separated from the African discovery by nearly 17,000 years, presents a conundrum. Our journey now takes us across another vast expanse of time and space, to the continents we now call the Americas. The story of human settlement here is itself a saga of endurance and discovery. According to the mainstream view, people first arrived by crossing a land bridge from Siberia into Alaska sometime after the peak of the last ice age. Evidence from sites across North America suggests that archery was present from a very early stage. Tiny fluted points known as Folsom points, dating back over 10,000 years, have long been debated as potential arrowheads. Consider the sheer diversity of bow designs in the Americas. Each is a perfect adaptation to its environment, yet all adhere to the same fundamental principles of archery. The vast continent of Asia offers its own unique and perplexing chapter in the history of archery. Here, the story is dominated by a different material altogether: bamboo. This remarkable grass, with its natural strength, flexibility and straightness, provided Asian bowyers with a raw material that was almost perfectly suited to their needs. The invention of the composite bow represents one of the greatest leaps in archery technology. It was built not from a single piece of wood, but from layers of different materials laminated together. Perfected by the horse-riding nomads of the Central Asian steppes, this was a weapon of terrifying power and sophistication that changed the course of history. As we survey the global evidence, we are faced with three possible explanations for this astonishing phenomenon. Each opens a different door into our ancient past. The first theory is that of independent invention. This idea suggests that the bow and arrow was such a useful solution that it was inevitably discovered by intelligent people everywhere. The second door is the theory of diffusion. This proposes that the bow was invented only once, most likely in Africa, and that this revolutionary technology slowly spread across the globe. However, diffusion also has its problems. The timeline is difficult to reconcile. The gaps in the archaeological record are immense. What if both of these explanations are incomplete? This leads us to a third, more speculative door. Could the bow and arrow be an inherited technology? This idea proposes that the knowledge of archery belongs to a much older, shared ancestral culture that existed before the Great Migrations spread humanity across the planet. This line of thinking challenges the established view. It implies that our Stone Age ancestors were perhaps more technologically sophisticated than we imagine. The next time you see a depiction of an ancient hunter with a bow, look closer. You are not just seeing a weapon. You are seeing the echo of a forgotten blueprint, a clue to a deeper human story that is still waiting to be told.